top lane.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We are back with the League of Legends International Collegiate Championship, and we have several more games today. For Game 2, we are your shoutcasters. My name is Aika, and with me here today is Neep.
And I mean, I'm really looking forward to this game. The match actually right now will be the match between Indonesia and the second seed Taiwan. I believe that is
NTU and UPH.
yeah, NTU and UPH. And I believe NTU is currently 1-0. They did manage to beat TIP yesterday. Meanwhile, UPH is currently 0-2.
Yeah.
So they did lose to TIP, and they also lost to the Chinese team. So they're definitely going to be looking to come back. And it's kind of taxing to have to play a game right after a
You
loss.
just lost, yeah.
And it was quite a long game as well. I mean, there was a lot of dragging on during that game. So let's see if UPH is able to persist and take this victory over
let's head
NTU.
into the drafting phase. So again, guys, this is Game 2, and it is between NTU for Taiwan and UPH for Indonesia. They have had their bans locked in. We have some a few bans already. Bans on Caitlyn, Zillion for NTU, and the ban on Nunu for the side of UPH.
Yeah, and I mean, the Nunu ban is pretty interesting. We're trying to, it's a common trend at this point. A lot of the teams are banning Nunu almost every single game. Meanwhile, we did see the Zillion and Caitlyn ban coming in from NTU. Looks like they the respect ban onto Thompson, as that Zillion was taken away. His Zillion actually in the previous game against TIP was really well played. However, let's see.
Yeah, at the same time, the Nunu ban, most likely because of NTU's game yesterday against TIP.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah, they did run that well, and that was the reason for a lot of very messy team fights coming from the side of TIP. So there as well, they have a ban on Trundle for the side of NTU, and finally a ban on Poppy for UPH.
Yeah, so this does leave a lot of the stronger mid laners open right now for the Spick and ban phase. Syndra, Rise are all open for both of these teams to take. However, it looks like NTU putting the priority on this Echo top lane. That will be for Silly right there in the top lane.
And so that's going to be their priority. For UPH, they respond with a Jace. And, well,
Yeah, the
there's
Jace Olaf, very solid. I mean, I really like the synergy between the movement speed. Like, Olaf benefits quite greatly from that movement speed, and the Jace can provide that. And both of them are pretty good at just collapsing on a single target, so I do like the synergy between this Jace and with that Olaf. And these can be flex as well. I mean, you don't really see it as often, but this could be a Olaf top, for example, and a Jace mid. We don't know yet, but very good. I like this first two picks.
Yeah, that's true. They could be playing with NTU, some mind games coming in there from UPH. After all, they do need to pull quite a miracle here to get back. They are in danger of losing any of those top two spots in their groups. Meanwhile, NTU is responding with a Nami pick, and most likely, yeah, they do lock in the Jhin, so very similar to what they brought out against Tip yesterday, TIP. So they did run the same bot lane duo.
So the Nami Jhin, it was fairly potent, I mean, in the game before. So let's see if they're able to maintain that consistency. We do see that the bot lane hasn't been picked up for UPH yet. I feel like they will most likely be looking taking it now and last pick that mid lane for the counter pick potential. So will they go for the Ashe Zyra again like they did in the previous game against TIP? The Ashe is being hovered over, and personally I think that the Ashe Zyra would be a really good pick here if they do decide to go for it. Yeah, there it is.
Well, I believe for UPH that is a favorite pick. Even yesterday, they
Yeah,
ran the same
that is true.
duo. So I guess that's really going to be the preferred picks for Vinsanity and Wolfie. And although Vinsanity didn't do as well on that Ashe yesterday, quite on the back
And
foot from
wow,
start to finish, I would say.
so the Rumble is locked in, and we might be possibly seeing a Rumble jungle in this game right now. And I'm not really
Uh-huh.
sure. I know I've seen Rumble jungle a couple times. It's not something you see that much anymore. So let's see how successful this Rumble jungle will be, or it could possibly be an Echo jungle, but that's even more rare than this Rumble jungle. Meanwhile, we do
I
see
like how that sounds when you say a rumble jungle.
yeah, well, Rumble in the jungle. I feel like
Uh-huh.
that term has been thrown around like for a while.
Okay, and it looks like UPH, their final answer in their composition, hovering over the Malzahar. And instead...
They've hovered over a lot of champions. So I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I'm just gonna wait for the timer to drop to 0 before I make any predictions regarding this.
so we're just gonna stay eager to see that. I believe though yesterday NTU ran, I think
They ran on a
Rise?
Azir.
Azir.
Yeah, they ran the Azir Nunu composition, and the
Oh,
Azir was
right,
actually
yeah.
extremely potent against
Yeah.
Janine in that mid lane. I believe, yeah.
Oh, so they go with the Vladimir.
And the
instead.
Vladimir, I guess it's a pretty safe pick. I would have liked to see something else, because personally Vladimir, kind of boring to watch, but the Vladimir is definitely it kind of matches the overall composition of this UPH team. Good way to round out the composition, where you have a consistent magic damage dealer in this that can just go in the front line. Meanwhile, we take a look at the NTU team. They did go for that Lux, and that's going to be pretty interesting, as Lux isn't something you see that often.
Yeah, and to think Azir is quite open, and we've seen their mid laner. No, actually, it's a different mid laner today. It's not PY Chang, or their mid lane. It's actually different. It's Hank.
Punk.
So
well,
I guess that's why.
Oh yeah, that is true. So different mid laner.
yeah.
Sorry for not pointing that out earlier.
So they are running different person or player in mid. So that explains why they did not go for the Azir pick, even though it was open. This guy probably does not have it in his pool of playable champions. So what do you think overall, given the different compositions from the two teams?
I personally like the UPH team composition a lot more. I really like that synergy between the Jace and the Olaf, as well as the combination with the Ashe and the Zyra. There's a lot of pick. I feel like this is really the theme of the UPH team compositions, where they like to go for that engage. They like to just go all in with these team compositions right there. But let's see if they're able to execute this team composition a lot more better than they did in the previous game, as the previous game was rather lackluster in regards to their engages and getting those nice team fights off.
Yeah, well, I guess UPH seems to still have a difficulty getting the ball rolling for themselves here at the LICC. Meanwhile, NTU has been doing quite a good job in their own matches so far. So seems to be in the favor of NTU, but we'll see, guys. So what do you think? You might want to discuss there in the comment section in the chat amongst yourselves which teams you are rooting for. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the League of Legends International Collegiate Championship, and I believe there's $10,000 at stake here.
Yeah, 10,000 prize pool.
Yeah, for the participants. So quite a lot at stake, and definitely very rewarding. It's the first of its kind right now, 2016.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have more. 9 countries, I believe.
Yeah, 9 countries, 10 teams. And so far, the tournament's been pretty exciting so far. It's really interesting to see how these different regions collide and how well they face against each other. We do get to see that in the GPL, but again, I've said this before, it's a lot more different when it's collegiate teams, as it's a lot more representative of the region itself, of what they play in that region itself, rather than GPL is very meta. It's very common between the way they play.
Yeah, that's true. You do see some clear regional differences from the collegiate scene, and even before, even in our own LCL, you see a lot of very interesting things being brought out, people deviating from the meta. So without further ado, let's head into it. Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is game 2 of the LICC 2016, and on the blue team, on NTU, we have Silly on the Echo top, Sikenya on that Rumble jungle, Hank on the Lux mid lane, Geochain on that Jin ADC, and Dean on the Nami support.
Oh, so it's Hank, not Honk. Okay. Alright, so for the red side, we have UPH, we have Indonesia. On the top side, we have Bibbled on that Jace for the jungle. We have Control on the Olaf. And for that mid lane, we have Thompson on that Vladimir, and for that bottom lane duo, we have Vinsanity and Wolfie on the Ashe and Zyra respectively. And already a lot of trades going down on this mid lane, and I really like this play coming in from NTU. Really good cheesy play coming in. Already Zyra down to half HP.
Yeah. So they're getting a lot of pokes in there in comparison to Vinsanity. Sanity, of course, and Wolfie already known to have quite the difficulty taking the advantage in their own
Yeah,
lane.
I mean, in the TIP game, they're actually able to create a quite substantial lead. However, when we saw them play against China, and even now, it's gonna look like it might be a hard lane for them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Hank doing quite well. Alright, against Thompson there.
And I mean, so far, lots of trades going down between both of these lanes. And if we take a look at the pathing, we do see that Rumble did opt to go for a full clear, going for those Gromps and going for that Wolf, as well as that blue buff. And he's now making his way towards the Raptor, so just looking to just get to level 6 as fast as possible. Meanwhile, we also see that Olaf going for a more traditional route, actually opting to go for the Raptors prior to going to the red buff. So going for a lot more farm heavy game as well. So we expect not that many ganks in this early game.
Yeah, it looks like in the bot lane though, the duo of NTU is being pushed back, getting zoned by Wolfie quite effectively. And those arrows definitely taking a chunk out of the life of GeoChain.
Yeah, and we do see Olaf in this top side. He will instead opt to recall, as they do know that it is warded right there. However, there is a decent wave being pushed up to this red side of the map.
And that first dragon is going to be an Ocean Drake. And I wonder which team is going to be able to get added more, because none of the jungles have yet to set up for anything. We haven't made any aggressive moves just yet, though in the top lane it seems that Tybalt is whacking away at Silly there.
Yeah, fairly interesting trade coming in. It looks like this top lane is in advantage of this Jace. The Jace does have that CS advantage and has been winning these trades so far. So far, Rumble still level 4, looking to farm up to level 6 as fast as possible. Thompson versus Hank in this mid lane. Extremely even. This bottom lane also even as well. So a very chill and relaxed
Yeah,
early
not
game.
a lot of excitement
Yeah.
just yet, although it looks like Wolfie, of course, is trying to make some plays. He's been warding this bush quite a lot, aggressive ward there, and has been going into that brush over and over again, just trying to zone out the enemy bot lane duo.
And you see that both junglers are actually looking to go for an invade or possibly a gank in this mid lane, as they are gravitating toward this mid. You see that Vladimir is pushed up quite a bit, so will Rumble go for this trade? Hank, no mana at all
And
whatsoever.
he's down to half health. He doesn't have any more potions or cookies.
Looks like instead they're going to be opting to go for this counter jungling route. Instead, Rumble counter jungling the Raptors, while Olaf also counter jungling the blue side Raptors.
Alright, so not a lot of... Oh, there you go. The bubble does land onto Vinsanity there in the bot lane. Is this going to be first blood? They are chasing after him. There's an aggressive flash, and Vinsanity runs into the brush for cover. But no, GeoChain is just going to go for it. He gets the first blood. Exhaust onto Wolfie there. Is that going to be another kill? And looks like it is. The kill is given instead to Dean. And that is 2-0, 2-1 actually, because now Control is in control of that bot lane. He's coming in for the follow-up onto the enemy, and that will be 2-4-2 instead, with a cleanup coming in from their jungler.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that still was in favor of NTU. They were able to get that first blood gold bonus into the hands of GeoChan right there. And with that, we do see that the Serrated Dirk has been completed for GeoChan. So Serrated Dirk versus the BF Sword. However, he was able to pick up a culling as well. And we do see pink wards being bought by almost everyone from this NTU team. So the vision control will start to build up, and we could possibly expect a fairly early dragon coming in from NTU with these items. I mean, actually, every single member of NTU has a pink ward in their inventory, so definitely something that was planned, I feel like.
Yeah, so NTU putting a lot of
That's a
priority
really nice inventory
in
right now.
vision, actually. Though that's a very interesting deep pink ward there
Yeah.
laid down by UPH on the red side of NTU.
I'm actually interested to see where these pink wards will go. We do see that one pink ward was placed on that top side of the map to defend the jungle entrance towards that top side. Meanwhile, other pink wards being placed just roughly in their jungle. So they want to eliminate
Yeah.
the potential of that counter jungle. Meanwhile,
Ooh, almost
3
hit
members in the
there.
top lane.
Yeah, they did rotate to that for quite some time. Their telegraph gank indeed under that turret, and they managed to secure a third kill on that scoreboard. Credit, of course, going to Sekenya.
Yeah, this NTU team is just extremely well coordinated so far. I feel like out of all the teams in this tournament, NTU has definitely shown the most display of teamwork and just
Yeah.
synergy. Like, it's definitely there.
Definitely. NTU doesn't seem to be making too many mistakes just yet compared to their match yesterday against TIP, where it was more of a push and pull. Although in the bot lane now, they are going for more. Vinsanity again, getting caught there, and just a little more, and he might go down. Although they go in for the re-engage, he decides that he has the upper hand. Yes. GeoChain was a bit aggressive there.
Yeah.
Vinsanity gets a kill. Very clever.
They didn't respect the damage coming in from the minions, and they didn't respect the damage coming in from Wolfie's fans, and instead, it's GeoChain who gets taken down with Ashe. Actually, the kill did go to Wolfie, and even though the kill did go to Wolfie, the gold on Zyra is still extremely good, as Zyra definitely adds a lot of damage to your team.
Yeah. So quite good there coming in from Vinsanity. Especially he seems to look more emboldened and confident today in his play.
Yeah. Definitely a lot better than yesterday, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the game against TIP, Vinsanity also did a very good job on this Ashe. So it looks like whatever happened between now and yesterday definitely helped this Vinsanity player.
Well, I'm guessing for a lot of teams, yesterday was more of a warm-up period for them.
I guess so, yeah.
A lot of them just flew in very recently, actually, to Taiwan for LICC. So it could be them adjusting to the new environment, and at the same time, it's not often that they get to play against teams from other regions, given the current setup. So it might have taken a game or two for most of the teams to get right into it, but it looks like things are picking up and we could be in for more exciting matches throughout the LICC. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and we've seen UPH, they definitely stepped up from yesterday. However, it's a question of is it enough for them to proceed to the next stage, as they did lose the TIP, and right now it's looking okay so far. However, NTU definitely still seems to be in this game. NTU, I'm actually in favor of NTU at the moment, just the way that the things are going so far. I feel like NTU has a lot more control over the game. They're a lot more comfortable with the scenario at hand. But who knows, it's still extremely early. League of Legends is an extremely unpredictable game, and anything can happen. And especially you have a team composition like UPH where there's a lot of potentials for picks, then it's definitely possible.
Yeah, so they're going to have to make the most of that and really do what their team comp is intended to do, which is get those picks, not try to force any team fights just yet. Meanwhile, here in the top lane, Silly getting bullied back to his turret by Thibault.
And it's actually, the top lane advantage is actually fairly even right now. We do see that Thibault and Silly both have the same PS. However, this looks like a kill might happen in his top lane after this play. Let's see.
Silly feeling emboldened there, had to use his ultimate to get back and regain some health, and now Thibault decides it is not the fight he's going to take. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, we have, curtain call being used here, open onto Wolfie, tidal wave used to somehow zone them, and it's quite effective because now even Sekenya is here to help with a follow-up, and GeoChain gets a kill as well as Sekenya. Those are 2 kills onto the scoreboard on that bot lane.
Yeah, and I feel like that was just extremely well played coming in from NTU. UPH didn't respect the possibility of that rumble gank, and their positioning as well. They just didn't respect the enemy bot lane in general, as we saw Wolfie was way far extended compared to Vinsanity. Meanwhile, Vinsanity was just getting zoned out by Nami of all champions, and that's really not what you want.
Yeah, actually, the trend has been that Wolfie seems to be quite the aggressor here in the bot lane.
They definitely don't seem to be on the same page right now.
Yep. And at the same time, they didn't have enough vision there to spot out to Kenya. and they suffered for it. They were punished. And now even as we look over the general area around the Dragon, there's a lot of wards from NTU. At the same time, though, UPH is trying to catch up. They have laid down some fresh wards of their own. Control is going around it, possibly to put down some more or deny vision, but we'll see.
Yeah, so we do see a 1,000 gold advantage in favor of NTU at the moment. Possibly the majority of this gold advantage being from the AD carry, as the Jin is 2-2-2, while the Ashe is 0-2-2. So that's definitely where that gold is coming from. Meanwhile, Jin doesn't have his Yomu's Ghost Blade just yet, so the gold isn't that noticeable. But once he does manage to pick that up, I feel like the UPH bottom lane does need to be quite careful.
Yeah, I feel like if there's anything that's going to decide how the game is going to run in the next few fights, it's going to be around this bot lane, because mid lane seems to be quite content just keeping it even. Top lane, they don't seem to be able, they really don't seem to be taking any risky fights just yet, although Wolfie there bubble onto him, and he's taking quite a lot of hits there, has to back away.
Yeah, and we actually do see that Olaf is actually fighting this dragon right now, and it looks like NTU has no idea that this is going on. So this dragon should be fairly free. Meanwhile, the top lane, Bold and Silly are duking it out, and both of them are fairly low. The ultimate will be popped by Silly, however, nothing will come out of it. Actually,
oh, that might be an attempt at a dive.
Wow.
Almost.
Really close. Just one more auto.
Make it out with a sliver of health. And he's alive for now, but these top laners definitely want to be the first one to get at the other. Meanwhile, Control is able to take that free ocean drink.
Should we see the play? The arrow does connect, and Rumble is there, though. Here comes the counter engage.
Yeah, in the bot lane, Curtain Call has been popped as well to slow down Wolfie. Flash out by him, but doesn't manage to escape. He goes down, and Vinsanity decides that he cannot avenge his support for now.
And I mean, Rumble's timing has been perfect so far this entire game. If Rumble weren't there in both those ganks where it resulted in UPH dying and losing that trade, I believe that UPH probably would have been on top. But instead, Rumble there during all crucial moments, and this is going to be the turret. Yeah.
2 flashes.
Both flashes burnt from Vinsanity and Dean.
Yeah.
And it looks like they won't actually be able to get the turret, as they will decide to just instead back off.
So it does show some growth, because it seems that as soon as the earlier failed skirmish in the bot lane, although wait, in the top lane, it seems that one of them might actually fall now, because Tibolt is going really low, and he is down for the fight.
Yeah, just a few mechanical errors coming in, but here comes the tower life. The Ghost has been popped. Control is going in.
In the mid lane, they're going ham there, but the snare locks onto Thompson, as well as the ultimate coming in from Hank, and now they're on the chase. They manage to chase away UPH. Are they going to keep running and gunning at them? They will, because now Silly is here for some backup damage there onto Control. He's getting low. He's starting to back away. Goes in for the last auto attack before he goes down.
And the score is now 8-3 in favor of NTU. That is 22,000 gold to 20,000 gold, so a 2,000 gold lead right there. And 8-3, so it looks like UPH is still holding on despite the kills being so high in favor of NTU. We do see that CS-wise, there is a CS advantage coming in from Thompson. Meanwhile, bottom lane is actually quite down in CS, and top lane fairly even, so a lot of the CS is being compensated by the jungle, actually, where you have an 83 CS to 63 CS between Control and the Rumble.
Yeah, Team's Control really is pushing himself, trying to get those sneaky dragons, even going in for those risky plays in mid lane. Did not expect that one, but it did not pan out in their favor, and instead they lost more than they thought to gain.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point we do see that the Rumble is now 4-0-1, and he's in this bottom lane again. It looks like they're going to be going for a repeat play. Let's see if UPH is ready for this. Curtain call is popped.
It's popped, and the tidal wave as well. Slow down Vinsanity. He does not have recourse to escape. He goes down. Are they going to go for Wolfie as well? He's pretty low, and we have from the side Hank with a follow-up. He gets the kill off of Wolfie.
And that's now 4 members in this bottom lane. We do see Control trying to do his best to defend this off, and looks like he actually will be able to defend this turret, but we do see that they did manage to bring down Thompson as well. So this is 4 members to 2 members right now. The teleports aren't available for Thibault. However, we do see that Silly does have his available. And this top lane advantage is actually getting bigger and bigger as we do see that Silly is 2 levels ahead. Actually now only 1 level ahead of Thibault right now. And that's definitely going to add up over time.
Yeah, the gap is getting bigger. That's 10-3 on the scoreboard, 15 minutes in, and a 3K gold lead in the pockets of NTU. And it seems that Kenya really on point today with his ganks. And it seems that after the earlier mistake that Geochain made, underestimating Vinsanity and going in for that 2 versus 2, they've decided that from now on we're only gonna fight when Kenya's here, and so far it's been
working out.
In their favor
I mean,
quite
the
well.
Rumble is what, 6-0 at this point, 5-0 at this point. He's definitely fed. He should be able to buy his Rylai Scepter extremely soon, and this bottom lane is just they can't get a break, catch a break.
Yeah, it seems that to deal with this, well, they have to have some advanced wards. They need to deny some vision, and at the same time, they have to be a little bit more safe. At least do the same, mirror what they're doing. If they're gonna go in for a fight, at least wait for Control to be there, because it seems that Control feels like he needs to be all over the map, just babysitting everyone, and it's really, it's becoming a handful for them, obviously.
Yeah, at this point the score is now 10-3, and it's definitely NTU in control of this game right now, not Control. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens if UPH will make the comeback, because if they do not win this game, their chances of getting into the
are very bleak.
Yeah, into the semifinals, it's non-existent actually. Not just
Actually,
bleak, non-existent whatsoever. They won't be able to get in, and that's gonna suck. Just going home without possibly not even going
a fighting chance.
Yeah, going home without a single victory possibly, as after this they do need to play against the Chinese team.
Yeah, that's gonna be and the Chinese team definitely looking good, even from yesterday. And
or do they I'm trying to think about the games that UPH has played. So they faced TIP, they faced the Chinese team, or they faced the Chinese team.
They
so they
did
need
already.
So they need to play against the Hong Kong team. And the team from Hong Kong is the clear favorite to go out of this group. So it's going to be an upward battle coming in for UPH right now. And I mean, it's definitely in them to win a game. It's just a matter of execution and a matter of just everything clicking, where in this case it's not.
Yeah, it seems as though they've taken more time to actually find their own groove here in the LICC, which is quite unfortunate, because these opportunities are few and far between, and with other teams being so ready to dish out everything they have from the get-go, and given that this is a single round-robin group stage, it kind of makes it quite a waste. It's not something where you can just drop a game and make
every
up for
game
it
counts.
later. Every game definitely counts, and when you have just 2 teams coming out from each of those groups, you would need as many wins as possible, even like a perfect run. But so far, how many teams have had a perfect run?
I believe Singapore has had a perfect run in Group B. Meanwhile, Group A, Hong Kong also does have that perfect run, and alongside NTU, I believe.
Yeah, so there we go. And TIP has not yet faced. No, they did face NTU, but have yet to face.
They still need to play against China and Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And that will determine whether or not they move on to the next round.
Yeah,
and
so
all of those games will be played later on today. So
yeah, so definitely a lot of games for these teams to play today. It's going to be a test of endurance and skill and all of that in between. And our own team from the Philippines, TIP, has yet to face the 2 teams with undefeated streaks, or our favorites to get out of group stages here in the LICC in Group A. So we might have to, send our prayers or share our strength with them. And guys, if you have any more other teams you are rooting for, feel free to talk about it in chat. This is an exciting series that we are watching. It's the League of Legends International Collegiate Championship. It's not every day that you get to see college students from 9 Asian countries just meet and show what they've got on an international stage. So definitely quite the opportunity, and maybe if you know any of them, you might want to share what they've gone through with the other viewers.
Yeah.
I believe you're quite familiar with some of the players that we've sent.
Yeah, I mean, we aren't actually covering them. Like, the most of the players I'm familiar with are in Group B,
Uh-huh.
because I did have the opportunity to play against them at a previous international collegiate tournament in
Uh-huh.
Korea, I believe a month ago or so. So
Yeah.
yeah, so far they've been doing pretty good. I mean, it's pretty interesting to see them compete and being on
Uh-huh.
the up. Instead of playing against them, I'm just casting them. So it's
Uh-huh.
interesting.
So definitely less pressure, and
Yeah.
you can see more and study them more, and that's probably quite an definitely a unique position to be in. But any other players that you think we should be looking out for in this league?
Well, I think from Group B, Dolphin is someone to look out for. The support
Uh-huh.
player of Singapore.
Uh-huh.
I can't really describe it, but I guess he's something. That's all I have to say.
Okay, and with that, we are back again here at Game 2, and looks like the top laners are again thirsty for blood. Which way will this go? Oh, flash in there, very aggressive. Tybalt wants this kill onto Silly. He knows Silly doesn't have his ultimate ready, but Silly manages to escape with that flash.
Yeah, so another unsuccessful attempt from Thibault to get that kill onto the top lane. And I mean, these two top laners have just been duking it out this entire game. However, it looks like Silly is the one that's been in control so far. And right now, 10-3 is the score right now. 3,000 gold and unsuccessful blue steal.
Yeah, and Dragon, the next Drake is still an Ocean Drake. It's going to be up in 1 minute. And
Ooh.
oh, that was a bad Enchant Crystal Arrow there coming in from Vinsanity. Missed his target by a lot, but at the same time, Wolfie also misses his ultimate there. Exhaust onto Vinsanity. He's going to get punished for that, and both of them go down. We have a teleport coming in there from Silly just to follow up onto Thompson, because this mid laner is not where he should be according to them. We have Curtain Call to slow him down, and they're just all over there. Left and right, we have the crit onto him, but Silly cleans up with that final kill.
And that was just extremely well played coming from NTU, and very unfortunate coming in from UPH. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow did not land onto the AD carry, and as a result, they were the ones that got punished. Very good teleport response coming in from Silly. I believe that Tybalt didn't have his teleport available during that play, so it was NTU who came out on top. They were able to take that bottom lane turret. That's the very first turret of the game. And with that, that is almost a 7,000 gold lead in favor of NTU.
Yeah, definitely at 17 minutes in, that is quite worrisome. I'm not sure what UPH plans to do here. They're 13-3, and now they are rotating their bot lane duo into the top lane instead.
Yeah, so the lane swap will commence once that turret has fallen.
And with that, they give up this dragon.
Yeah, that's actually extremely questionable. I don't think they realized that dragon was spawning, or maybe they just didn't want to contest that at all. Regardless, that will be the first dragon for NTU, so that will be an ocean per each team.
Yeah, well, control was there, so I'm pretty sure they knew, and they just decided to give it up for now. They cannot take any fights given the huge lead that NTU has shored up against them, and now Silly here is just taking the cake onto Wolfie. Wolfie getting bullied here, can't escape at all, goes down, and Silly with a 3-0-2. That must feel good.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just NTU just walking all over UPH. I feel like the UPH morale at this point is definitely not as high as it should be, as it could be. They just lost against TIP, and now this is a pretty convincing victory, pretty one-sided match versus NTU.
Yeah, and Hank looking just as good as the previous mid laner of NTU.
Yeah, I mean, lots of flexibility there. The ability to field two mid laners who can definitely hold their own against the best of the best in this collegiate tournament.
Yeah, definitely. And he's been able to, those snares have been on point, as well as his cleanup ultimate as well. So props there for the new mid laner of NTU. They definitely wanted him to get in some experience there, but here in the top lane, Silly might be in trouble. We have Wolfie and Vinsanity onto him. They do manage to lock him down, but at the same time, Silly still manages to slip away from their grasp, goes over the wall. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Tybalt just goes down super fast there, taken out by Geochain, and a long time in coming here, we have Silly just going down as well.
Yeah,
so
I mean, that took an extremely long time for UPH to kill him, and as a result, NTU was able to get a kill of their own, and they were also able to take down that mid lane turret. So now the turrets are now 3-0, And again, it's NTU with
Yeah.
full control of this game. 8,000 gold lead now from the 7,000 gold lead earlier.
Yeah, UPH definitely doing their best to scrape away at some kill or another. But at the same time, the trade-off is that it also opens up the opportunity for NTU to make plays of their own on the other side of the map. And that's exactly what happened. And they managed to lose more. And now they're at an 8K deficit in the gold scores.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be extremely hard for UPH to just make a comeback. If we take a look at the map, I think the champions rather, every single NTU member is extremely ahead compared to their counterpart, especially in this bottom lane. We see that 624 Jin with the Yomus and with the Duskblade completed compared to the
Yeah.
Ashe who just picked up that Runans and BS sword. Still trying to reach for that Infinity Edge.
Yeah, and definitely there's Sekenya as well with a 4-0. Each of these players so far in NTU looking very, very on point and in great shape in this match. And at the same time, it's also UPH just looking quite weak in this game as well. They've been making a lot of really bad
Yeah,
mistakes.
I mean, it's at this point, it's not them getting out-rotated, it's them getting outplayed mechanically.
Yeah.
Just something you don't want to happen, especially at this level of play. So, again, it goes to show just how down the morale is at this point, because that's not something that's not a mistake you should be making right now.
Yeah, definitely. We have here, onto Tibol. He's been spotted out as well. We have Equalizer onto him. He's getting slowed down. Is that going to be a kill instead? Hank is going to settle for Thompson. Thompson trying to body block for his teammate. Might get in trouble there. Does manage to stay alive. We have there an arrow coming in from Vinsanity from the left. Doesn't manage to hit anyone at all. And instead, NTU is going to take this bot lane turret.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much they can do. Curtain call, and
oh my
they didn't even need that curtain call. Hank was able to get that kill onto Wolfie. Meanwhile, Silly gets that solo queue onto Vinsanity underneath that turret. And it's NTU just walking all over UPH right now. There's not much that UPH can do.
Yeah, and we have here UPH still trying to force a defense there with just one person at a time. That is not going to work. If anything, if they do want to hold a solid defense or try, they should at least bring in their team, their whole team, not do the opposite of not do what they need the other team to do, which is get those picks. Instead, they're the ones getting picked apart one by one. And of course, they're not going to be able to hold their own against 4 people from NTU. That's 18-4 on the scoreboard, 23 minutes in, and a 10K gold lead. And at this point, that's going to be quite an insurmountable challenge for UPH to overcome.
Yeah, I mean, 10,000 gold lead, like you said earlier, is definitely an extremely huge advantage. But one way you can look at it is if you look at where all the deaths are coming from and where the biggest gold difference is, it's from this bottom lane. You have 0-5 Insanity and a 0-2-7 Wolfie. So these kills aren't really worth that much gold at this point. And meanwhile, if you take a look at the mid lane's fairly close in regards to items. We take a look at Lux. Lux only has that Morello Nomicon completed as their full item. Meanwhile, we take a look at Thompson. He does have the Spirit Visage and is looking to build that Proto Belt, so very close in regards to items. And the same thing can be said for this top lane. You've got a Yomu and Serrated Dirk versus the Triforce and components to a Sunfire Cape.
Oh, we have an opening to a fight here with a curtain call coming in from Geochain. Bubble does land onto Thompson. He might be the most valuable target right now at this point. And the snare does land onto him as well. They're trying to keep him in place. Tidal Wave as well. A lot of ultimates being expended here just to get him. And Geochain finally manages to land that last hit to get the kill onto him. And we have Wolfie going down as well. And it seems like they're just falling like dominoes. 4 people are down from the side of UPH with just Control making it out of there alive.
Yeah, 24 minutes in the game. 22-4 is the score. And this should be the first inhibitor going down for NTU.
Yeah, it seems as just as when you pointed out that Thompson is the more valuable one here because he managed to stay on par with Hank. They decide to go for him and just take him out. They managed They used up a lot of ultimates, but rightfully so because they did manage to secure that kill. Meanwhile, here Silly might be going in for more, but no, because Hank manages to help him out and get the kill onto Vinsanity there. Of course, UPH doing their best to chase them out of their base, but they still lose 2 inhibitors.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, 2 inhibitors down to... Actually, UPH hasn't taken a single turret from NTU so far. So that is very concerning, and it's just NTU having complete control of this map right now. But let's say UPH is able to possibly take down these outer turrets. The gold lead would actually even out by quite a bit, because a lot of the gold, if you look at it, is coming from these turrets. These turrets giving roughly 1,000 to 1,500 global gold, and there's 6 of them that haven't. Yeah, there's roughly 6, 7. Yeah, 7 to 0. So multiply like 7,000, roughly 9,000 gold from these turrets alone. So let's say UPH is able to slowly take these turrets one by one, then a possible,
they'll be able to breathe a bit.
a comeback might be possible, but it's very unlikely, as given how NTU played yesterday and how they've been playing for this entire tournament, they really know how to just end the game when it comes to that.
Yeah, so NTU definitely being very methodical about this. They are going to slowly set up for this top lane. They want to get all inhibitors and then go in for a decisive finish. We have Curtain Call being used there by GeoChain because Vinsanity is still there trying to defend that turret. And we have them clearing out the red side jungle of UPH as well, really, really starving them out.
I mean, at this point, it's just NTU just patiently waiting for the game to end, and UPH is delaying the inevitable. Despite what I was saying about earlier about possible comeback from UPH, again, it's extremely unlikely.
Yeah, quite difficult, and it's a shame because they did have the composition that you said
yeah, I really liked it, but then again, I'm still pretty happy as this Rumble jungle has been extremely successful and like extremely important to the success of NTU in this early game. Without those ganks in that bottom lane, then this might have been a different story.
Yeah. And there we go, Silly just being very bold there, going right in. They're not even bothering with the turret. Silly's just running around, and they're managing to get kill after kill. 2 people down from the side of UPH, and just 3 left to hold the defense, although Wolfie will be up in a few, and they're going to be able to get this turret. Thompson there trapped, and they're going to do their best to keep him there and secure a kill. Silly might be going in a little too much, does manage to pop his ultimate before he dies there, and he's managed to stay alive. Hank is getting low. Thompson knows that he's quite the squishy target, but they've managed to keep them at bay.
I mean, 3 inhibitors down, 1 Nexus turret down. This should be the game within the next minute or so. There's not much UPH can do at all. And it's just NTU just trying to boost their KDA as high as they can by going for all these kills, and UPH just running around the map.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty clear to all of us what is slowly but surely going to happen here. They're just managing to clean up everyone, as many people as they can. But the minions are there, and this is it, ladies and gentlemen. GGWP, and congratulations to NTU from Taiwan here at the LICC 2016. They managed to get the win, the victory for this game 2 of today's matches.
Yeah, I mean, probably the most one-sided match so far of the entire tournament. That was a 30-5 kill line for this game, and the gold lead even higher. I mean,
yeah, so UPH, very unfortunate that they weren't able to make their comeback here, but still, mad props to them for being one of the
they still have
teams.
1 more game to go.
Yeah.
They might be able to make the miracle play, upset Hong Kong, who are the favorites going into the next stage of the game.
It could happen.
Yeah,
Level the playing field for everyone, please. But that is it. Those are the results for now, and it seems very sad, but at the same time, still mad props to all the teams who are here at the LICC. Of course, these are the best from their respective countries, their respective collegiate scenes, and it's still pretty exciting. We have more games for you guys today, and it's going to we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back again. We have been your shoutcasters for this afternoon. My name is Aika, and with me here is Neep, and guys, we'll be back in a bit.